Hello, YouTube. Welcome to another edition of Prof Sales, and this show is where we talk about being an investor, side hustles, making some money, and just living your better life. So hopefully this is working correctly because I'm trying a little bit different stream today. So let me just make sure that everything's good. I think it is. How's everybody doing out there today? It is January 26, 2021. And we are plowing right through this year. I can't believe it's already almost the end of January. Seems like this month just started, and here we are almost at the end of it. So I thought I would share with you guys what I've been up to the last few weeks since we last talked, and how investing is going, how the stock market is going. If you guys are, I got the chat up now. If you guys are new to this channel started off as a reselling channel focusing on Amazon and eBay, but now I've also expanded out to other avenues, including investing and trading. So I'm trying my hand at some stock trading over in this bull market we've been in for quite some time now. And it is definitely a struggle. I will say it is not an easy game. I don't think trading is for everyone. And I just want to say that it is not something to enter into lightly. That being said, disclaimer, if you are, I don't know if I can see the chat here or not. Yeah. If you are thinking about investing, you need to understand this channel is for entertainment purposes only. This should not be construed to be professional advice in any way, shape, or form. If you decide to invest in any sort of investment, the equities, the stock market, real estate, whatever, you should definitely seek the counsel of professionals before you do that. Don't just listen to some random dude on YouTube like me. I know a few things, but I in no way, shape, or form am capable of telling you how you should invest. All I can do is tell you what I'm doing. So that being said, let's jump into it. As some of you guys know, I've been investing, or started trading rather. I'm investing in a different set of investments, but I've started trading on WeBulll, which is an online trading platform that allows you to buy and sell equities in the stock market. And it is going. I don't know if that's the right term or not. It is definitely not something that's been a super easy grind, but I do like a challenge. So I'm going to kind of share with you what I've been doing over the last couple weeks. If you guys can hear me okay, let me know in the chat just to make sure. Just somebody send me a message. I think I'm good, but I just want to make sure. So let me know if the audio is good. WeBulll allows you to buy and sell equities, basically commission free. There are some fees on certain types of trades, but not really the trades that I do. So I've been jumping in with both feet, I guess. And I started off just with about $100 I had just kind of sitting there already. I'd invested in one stock that I kind of and honestly forgot about until this year, and it actually has done pretty well. It's my best holding, so imagine that. But just the other day, I added an additional $500. So basically my bankroll is basically $600 in this account. I'm kind of scaling up as I learn to kind of reduce my risk. And today I bought 6 different equities, 6 different stocks. So I'm going to share with you what I did on those and how they're doing. So you'll see now down below, there is actually on the bottom of the screen, you should be able to see on WeBulll. Let's see if I can get over here. These are the positions that I have. I currently have a position in ABCB, KNDY, HUYA, NEO, LI, NNDM, and Bingo, Bango, as I like to call it. And 6 of those positions I just recently got today. So they're brand new to the portfolio, but I'm going to walk you through kind of what I did with those and why I got into them. Hopefully that doesn't go away. Let's start though with ABCB. I'm going to show you this on Yahoo's chart because it's a little bit easier to see, I think, than WeBull's. ABCB is a banking stock. that I got involved with back in May of 2020. And it's been a great run up on this stock. You can see down here below that I've gotten a 80% run up on this stock, 80.73. And at one point I'd actually doubled my money. I think it's drawn back a little bit, but it was kind of an accident. I left this in there. So make of that what you will, but I will probably sell it at some point. But right now it's still running. It still has good numbers. As we can see here on the chart, it's had, if we go all the way back here to May, I'm going to shrink this down. I think I got in here around about the 20th or so, which should be right in here. And it kind of dipped for many months after that. And then it's just been this nice big run up here from, say about the beginning of October. And this is the blue SMA line of the 9-day SMA moving average. And you can see it's consistently stayed above that line most of the time. And even now it's kind of at a historic high. The whole market's gone higher, so it makes sense that this stock would go higher too. But there's no guarantees in the market, so I've been pleasantly surprised with this one. This company, from what I've been able to learn, has pretty good financials and so on. If we go back a screen, we can look at some of those. It's a $3 billion cap stock, and right now we are pretty close to the 52-week high. We're a little off of it, but overall, it's a pretty well-run company from what I've seen. The average volume is about 427K, which meets kind of the targets I've had. Although right now it says the short term, it's a bearish outlook. This is kind of like the analyst look. But midterm and long term, a positive bullish look. And even the idea that it may be a bit undervalued, which is great. I mean, that anytime a stock is undervalued means its intrinsic value might be higher than what it's trading at, which means you have the potential to, hopefully if the market catches up to it, make a really good price appreciation. So I'm going to hold on to this one as long as I can. And Yahoo Finance has a lot of great data you can have here. You can look in and see like all the reports and so on. Some of this is locked unless you have a subscription. But looking at the financials of this company, I've looked at them recently. They've been pretty good. You can see here, I like to go over to the cash flow right away, just start right there. The operating cash flow and so on has just, they've seen some nice increases. The free cash flow is up to, I think this is $1 million. So they've actually been doing pretty well in terms of their financials, especially given COVID, which, killed everything. But we're living in this weird time with this pandemic where financials and stuff like that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But not too much debt on this company. They did gain some in 2019, but overall their assets are strong. Here you can see 18, I think this is billion. And then you see their net debt, their debt was 1.5. So that's a great ratio. I like companies that don't have a lot of debt for the most part, because I think they tend to they have the ability to liquidate and still be profitable. If push comes to shove, they can pay off their debts and still have a good rate of return, they can stay in business basically. Let's look up Candy, which is another one that I bought today. So this stock, I bought 10 shares of this one today, and you can see here I got in at an average price of $8.64 basically. Right now it's trading at $8.92, which is a nice little bump up of 3.25%, which is great. And I've got 10 shares of it. It's not so much the amount of shares that matter, as I've learned it's the amount of the investment is going to determine how many actual dollars you can make, right? It does, 10 shares is great, but 5 shares might be better if it's if those shares cost more than twice as much as the 10 shares. You have the potential to make more return. You also have the potential to lose, so something to keep in mind. But this stock, let me see if I can pull it up here. Candy. think it's on my watch list. And all right, Candy. Let's pull up the chart. Actually, let's go back. We'll go back to here. So this particular company, Candy Technology, I believe this is a crypto play, if I remember right. I don't know perfectly all these stocks. I'm kind of pulling these together from some different sources. But the 52-week range, 217 to 1745, so it's been kind of in the middle of that range. Pretty good volume, 13 million. There's analyst reports tend to think it's overvalued, but still a bullish in a 2 to 6 week period. So we'll see if that turns out. I don't really want to keep a play more than a couple weeks. Honestly, I'd rather sell and lock in money, but there will be some that I think, some of the investments I've recently made, I think I will hold longer. It has a huge beta. So beta is a measure of volatility, and a beta of 1 means that a security is just as volatile as the market overall. So positive, more than 1 means it's more volatile, less than 1 means it's less volatile. This is a very volatile stock, but volatility is where you get price action. So hopefully it will keep accumulating or keep moving towards the upside, at least, because I'm obviously long on this stock. I'm not really trading any shorts at this point. And, you know, this is one of those plays where I'm going to have to be willing to set on this for a bit. You can see on this chart, let's see if I can shrink this down a little bit. You can see, like, we've had some highs up here. What is this at? We've had some highs up here around 9, or excuse me. Wow. My pointer does not want to cooperate. It's like way down here. Let me turn off this pointer thing I've got going on. Hang on 1 second. Maybe that'll be better. Maybe not. All right. Yeah, so up here is about the 1665 mark, and that seems to be like a resistance level up here. It hasn't gone that high. And then down here you have some support when this stock was much lower at $4, and we've hit some support levels down here as well, like at, I don't know why my pointer is causing me such an issue, down here around about $5.51. So that tends to be, so when I look at this range, like if I had to draw a line, I'm gonna refresh this real quick, guys. Maybe that'll help my pointer for some reason. I think when I turned off that mouse pointer, I had it. That's a little better, I think. Still acting a little weird. So when I look at this stock, though, I look at like some support down here, and I think, okay, well, maybe that will be kind of the bottom level we're looking at, and then we have these huge bump ups here. So there's a bigger upside with the price being right here. There's a bigger upside. Like if you look at this area right here, that's kind of like the downside. But this upside potential is much larger. So that doesn't mean it will move up. But what I've learned is that's the potential bounce that you can get, or the potential appreciation you can get. Hard to know. But this is one of these stocks that I may hold for a little bit. I may hold it more than a couple weeks. We'll see. But if I saw a price up to even around like 10 or even 12.50, I think is my initial target, this level right here. Yeah, so right in here, then I would be happy with it. I'm going to move to the WeBulll and let's see if this helps any. Yeah, maybe that's a little better. Not much because you guys can't see it. All right, let me move this up a little bit. See if I can get this to go up. So, wow. Yeah, sorry, I'm having trouble with my charts here, guys. Yeah, it's because I've got this shrunk down. All right, so let me go back to this. Positions. All right. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at, is trying to move up to about 12.50 with this stock, and then I'll probably sell out. So we'll see if that happens or not. No idea. All right, so next up is we've got Huya, HUYA, which I think is a great name for a stock, right? I know that's probably not saying that right, but hey, whatever. All right, so HUYA is, this stock is at 26.33, and it's got a 52-week range of 11.78 and 30.62, so pretty wide range there. I got into this one at, I don't know if you guys can see it real well here. I got into this one at, where the heck is my price go? Okay, wow, it's like all my stuff is just going wacky. All right, hang on. And yeah, okay. So I got into this one, I believe, at 25. Wow. Where did this go? Hang on one second, guys. Sorry, my screen is going crazy here on me. It probably looks better on your side. Oh, it's got to be here. That's why. All right, so I got into this one at 25.94. It's setting a little bit higher than that right now at 26.42. So I've got a little bit of profit, 1.85. This is one of these plays that could go up as high as about 32, at least by my notes and my research. I don't know that it will hit that high. We'll see. I think it's one of these that it's probably, it's actually a little less volatile than the market, which is interesting, at least over the 5-year play. Let's pull this one up. And 20. All right, so we got in here at, man, this mouse thing is driving me crazy. There we go. I think I see why it's an issue. We got in about right. Just a little below that. So right here about 25.94, which is about right, and sorry, it's hard to get about right there. So you can see at that point, we have a pretty high top over there back in August of around 30. And then the lows on this one, we've hit down there around about 18. So this one's a little scary for me. But it is on a nice uptrend right now. And I'm kind of buying into the middle of this trend right here. You can see this is a nice, we had a crossover of the moving averages right here. So the 9-day crossed over the 180 and it's been climbing ever since. So I'm just basically playing this. If it starts consolidating back down under that 9-day moving average, then I'll sell. But my goal with all these stocks is just to make at least 1% on the trade. I know that doesn't sound like much, but when you compound that over 5 days a week and 4 months or four weeks in a month and so on, it can add up really quickly. So that's basically what my goal is. So even if it only goes up, basically what it's gone up already, I would be happy with that rate of return. So that one so far today has been pretty good. But I've learned something kind of interesting today that I'm going to share with you guys. And I don't know if anybody out there listening has learned the same thing. Maybe I'm just such a noob, as one commenter called me last week, which is not wrong. Basically, that I've been making the mistake. I guess it's maybe a mistake. I don't know if it's a mistake. But I've been making the mistake of basically, I'll turn on WeBulll in the morning when the market opens at 9:30 here on the East Coast, and I'll start looking at the stocks that I've got in my watch list and start seeing what they're doing. And if I see them uptrending, I usually purchase them, with the idea being that it's continuing the momentum from the day before or the week before, whatever I've already looked at, and that I need to get into the stock around, while it's still uptrending. Not so much FOMO, but just sort of this idea that I want to buy into the stock in a point where it's still in this uptrend so I can kind of ride that trend up. But what I've noticed is that some of these stocks are having that initial bounce in the first 20 or 30 minutes. And I heard a trader say it on Live Traders, which is a big trading channel here on YouTube that goes out live every morning. Some guys from Canada who trade here in the U.S. I think they're both from Canada. But they mentioned, one of them mentioned today and said, you know, a lot of times you get this half-hour sell-off at 10 o'clock. And I thought, I hadn't really thought about that. But I did start noticing that a bunch of the ones that I invested in this morning, once 10 o'clock came, a bunch of them did drop price right around that point. And I guess the idea is that people kind of, maybe a lot of institutional buyers come in the morning and bid up prices, and then people start taking profits. So maybe a better strategy is, and somebody can, if anybody's got any feedback on this, I'd love to hear it. Maybe a better strategy is you pick your list of stocks that you think are, you know, appreciating and moving forward. And then after 10 o'clock, you look to sort of see if any of them have dipped down in price. And that's when you go ahead and execute, because now you've kind of potentially gotten rid of some of those people who were just bought at the very beginning, push prices up, and then sold to lock in profits. Like now the price has dropped 2, 3, 4, 5%. Because like this next stock that I picked, this Bio-Nanogenomics, they did exactly that. And like if you look at the chart, so this company, let's see where I got in on this one. So on this one, I got in at 1363.9, right? And it's dropped today. Like it was actually down more than this earlier, but it's dropped quite a bit from where I bought it. And theoretically, if I could day trade, I probably would have already exited out of this position. But you can see, let's go to like the 1-day chart. And what has this got on it? Yeah, this has got the time. You can see what happened here. Let me move this over. You can see what happened here at the market open, right? So at the market open, this price right here, I mean, you can see like it jumped all the way up to 1340, from 1322 to 1343 to 1380. I bought in at 1369, kind of near the top. Not what you want to do. And then over the next, 30 minutes, even by the time you get here till 10 o'clock, now it's down to $13. And then it even dropped further, and you can see it's sort of drifting down most of the day. I mean, this is a general curve down. We even got down, let's see how low we got. We got down here around like this level right here. Looks like you get down around 1211, 1206, and now it's even down to like 1206. So maybe the better strategy is, guys, just to buy, at the end of the day or even an hour or two in, after like some of this initial bump of these prices has sort of evened out. Like this drop from here to here is substantial, So I got to get better about doing that. But this particular company, these Bio-Nanogenomics, I mean, they're engineering all sorts of nanotechnology into cellular processes and so on. Like this is definitely in the long term. You can see here, like there's a lot of bullishness around this company. I'm okay at getting in even the price I got in. Like I'm not going to like go crazy because of today, but I do think I could probably wait 30, 45 minutes on a lot of these, maybe an hour, and then look to buy. Now the downside is if it's really trending up, you missed that trend at the beginning, but you probably didn't overpay for it. And this is a longer play. Like I intend to hold this one a bit longer. I might even hold this one a month or two. I don't know. But if anybody else has experienced that, if you've seen that same sort of like drop at the first 30 minutes, maybe an hour into the market, let me know in the comments, because I'm kind of curious. This one's been up as high as 1385. So I kind of hit like the top of the range today when I bought it, which really sucks. But this one's a little bit more of a longer term play for me, so I'm okay with it. It's definitely overvalued. The RSI has been high on it. But I think overall, and there's a lot of volatility in this stock, 2.93, but I think overall that this particular play has got some action, some potential to go, pretty good in the future. So we'll see what happens with that one. Let's talk about Neo, a stock I got in at 60.20. I think I bought this one yesterday, if I remember right. I got in at this one for 60.20. So let's find that one. Neo, okay, so let's talk about Neo. What is Neo? Neo is an EV company. This particular stock has the potential to be the Chinese version of Tesla. It's already in the top 5 market cap wise of all the EV players, and maybe even all the automakers, I think. So this company is basically doing in China what Tesla has done here in the United States. Now, that doesn't mean it'll run up and do the same thing it has as Tesla. It's had some great run-ups. But it's one of those companies that's got tremendous potential, and I'm actually a believer in it long term. I think this $60, yes, I bought it 60.20, and I know it's down a little bit from where I bought it, but I think the 60.20 is actually pretty low. I think it'll definitely go back to the $67 range. It'll test this resistance here in the next weeks and so on. This is one of these companies that, I mean, it's a car company. I mean, and it's got a huge market that it can sell electric cars to, being in the country of China alone, and obviously other places too. But, you know, I don't know for certain what's going to happen with it, and it's been very volatile. 2.81. You can see it's a big company, $93 billion, definitely a large company. Some of the analysts have, you know, some overvalued bearish looks on this. I disagree. I think long term this company's got big potential, but we'll see. I think the Chinese are going to move into EV in a big way, and I think Neo is just one of those companies that's going to benefit from it. But you know, there's no guarantees. I think Neo could be where Tesla was a couple years ago. We'll see if that plays out. If it does, then I think this price could be way higher. I think it could be 90. I think that it could be $90 to $100 per share, which would be great. I don't know if I'll hold that long or not. If it hits 66, I might hold it. But I bought just one share of it, because you can see over here, these are my position sizes of this small portfolio I have. I don't really want to get too invested in any one stock. 20% would be the absolute cap, which I'm actually almost there with Lee. But so I only bought one share of it just to kind of limit my risk. And now as I size up my account, obviously these positions will size up too, and it'll be more shares. But I'm comfortable with it being almost 12% of my portfolio of this trading account so far. So that being said, let's talk about Lee. So Lee Auto is another overseas auto company, and this particular one I got in at $32.55 for 3 shares. So let's see where Lee is at. So if we go back to the watch list and we go to Lee, $32.55. So I'm right there at it. It's basically at that price right now, $32.56. I think this is just a little bit behind. $32.57. Excuse me, I got it at $33.15. I'm sorry, I can't read. So it's down a little bit. Another one of these companies, I think it's got a lot of potential in terms of, you know, these car companies are kind of leading the way on all these EV plays. And there'll be other things too, like the chargers and charging stations and battery producers and things like that will benefit. But cars is such a great way to get into the EV market, because they know that, you know, so many people have cars. It's just an easy one. We saw today that the new president, Joe Biden, announced that the U.S. wants to make their governmental fleet of cars electric, which is several million vehicles. So, I mean, this move towards electric vehicles doesn't show any sign of slowing anytime soon. So I think a lot of these plays will pan out. I just may have to wait longer. I really don't want to play a lot of these stocks longer than a couple weeks, but that may not be reality. And this is another one too, that like if you look at this, this 930, and we see it bounce up, and then we see another bounce up to like right around 10 o'clock, and then just a drift down all the way here till whatever we got to right here, about 32.15. So again, another potential, and you think here is like 33.39 to 32.15. I mean, that's $1.20. It's like a 3%, 4% drop intraday there. So yeah, I mean, and maybe if I was shorting stocks, I'd be happy about this. I could just short from here to here and be great. But although most shorts don't go that long. But yeah, and that's another one. But I actually bought into this one yesterday, if I remember right. So I bought it in back here. But yeah, these stocks, I've been noticing this trend with a lot of them. All right, what have I not talked about? We talked about Nano, we talked about Neo, we talked about Bingo. Yeah, so just in general, guys, I'm gonna, this overall portfolio was up a little bit because I had such a great gain from ABCB, but I almost talked myself out of this Bingo one this morning, which obviously I would be up a lot more if I had, but hindsight's always 20/20. If it's still dropping tomorrow, I may size back in. I may average down basically as this one is going in. I may actually purchase some more because I do still think it's a good stock, and I think it's probably getting unfairly beaten down today, which happens. And I'll be ready to buy back in if I think the price warrants it tomorrow. I don't know yet. We'll see what that looks like. I'm not happy about the 10% drop, but I'm trying to make myself a deal that I won't sell any stocks on the first day, and I won't really day trade them at this point. First of all, I can only day trade 3 trades out of 5 days. And secondly, I need to give these stocks a little bit of time to run, a little bit of time to do what they're going to do. Some of these plays I bought today are going to be longer term plays, and I probably need to hold them for, a few weeks or maybe even a couple months. I'm not super excited about that, but if that's what it takes to sort of earn some profit in them, then that's what I'll do. I do think they're longer term plays. I think it's hard to find just the stocks that you want to only trade for like a couple days or so, or even a week. It's tricky to find those. I'm struggling a bit. I'm probably not really looking for the right type of stocks to use for those. So we'll see if these stocks run up. But let me know in the comments too what you think of my analysis. Well, let me know what you think of these particular stocks that I purchased. I'm not super happy with my price today, obviously, but that is what it is. You don't always, I'm living and learning here. I'm definitely learning some lessons, and you're going to pay for your lessons in the stock market. So, all right, well, listen, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Leave me some questions and comments before, and don't forget to hit that awesome, unbelievable like button on the way out. And I'll see you guys